Yo, what's up, guys? It's Wednesday. It's another video commentary style. Yeah, that was a great intro. Honestly, nothing could have been better there. We're not playing Kirby. I just have it on Kirby for a second. We're not playing doubles either. I was just messing around, making sure the settings were good. So if you notice today, we're Jack the Rester because today, you'll get the correlation in a second. Today is St. Patty's Day. Well, at least when I'm recording, it's Tuesday, the 17th of March. 2026. You never know. Someone could be watching this in 2055. I don't know. But to celebrate, we got a nice little cider. And that'll be our little challenge today, I guess. It's not really going to kick in, though. Unless I, just chug it, which might just be the move. I think it's really good. This is a pineapple down east. Solid. Very solid. I've been liking pineapple juice more in my alcohol. Oh, also, the reason why I went for the full screen cam, can't really see it with the cam, but this is my fit for today. Got the R2D2 shirt. I think I got this for Christmas in like 2015 or earlier. And the reason why it's pretty cool is because it's one of my first tournament shirts. If not my first. I got my first SmashCon shirt, if you've been in the know of Dawson lore, for my tournament shirts, I used to wear SmashCon shirts almost exclusively, or Supernova shirts at this point. But I switched at one point. It was after the Ludwig tournament online. It was like the biggest tournament of all time. I was like, I'm gonna retire my shirt. And I was like, one last run, and I had my best run ever. And I was like, yeah, that's a pretty good time to retire it. So I did that. But the shirt I used before it was this shirt. I usually have these like lucky shirts. Somehow we can't find a game. It's 10:53 p.m. on the East Coast. I'm used to degeneracy hours. Like we can find a game in Puff Samus. That's okay. I mean, clearly I wanted to spend my night doing this, so we're gonna be consistent here, very consistent. But yeah. So this was one of my early tournament shirts. Might have to bring it back. You never know. You never know. But, yeah. So, the reason why I totally forgot about Jack the Rester. So, Jack the Rester is essentially, another play on the Bay Harbor Rester. So, I was like, okay, well, I want to do a new name. And I wanted something St. Patty's themed. But I didn't want to get rid of my, like, naming convention I already had with Dexter, serial killer. So I thought, okay, I don't know why Jack the Ripper got in my head, but I was like, Jack the Ripper. So Jack the Rester. I think it's pretty good. Low-key, I might just stick with the name after St. Patty's Day is done. But the connection to St. Patty's was, I was thinking, wait, was that in Ireland that he was operating in? It was London. But apparently, I was reading a little bit on it, he might have been someone from Ireland. Or born in Ireland or something. Which sucks because I mean, it's a celebration of Irish people, and I'm Irish, so, well, I mean, I don't know percent, but my dad, for sure, his grandparents and stuff were from Ireland, or, I don't forget if my grandma and grandpa were from Ireland or not, I don't know, but essentially the whole point was, to celebrate, and then I chose a name that's not really celebrating Irish people. And some of the people that I killed might have been like Irish immigrants too to London, so it might not be the best name, but it fits the convention, so we're gonna go with it. So yeah, Yoshi's a double-edged sword in Smash because you can like basically have a an issue where you die really early and you can't really camp it effectively. Chat, I don't like to camp in Super Smash Bros. Melee, but I could talk a little bit about 2022 Jigglypuff, where I think that's like kind of what the universe has come to. Whoa. I was having a session the other day. I was playing a Falco, and I just got too bored while playing. Like, too bored. And it was on me, too. Like, I could be like, oh, the Falco was just shooting lasers and camping me, but no, both of us are not playing the video game, and I realized that after, kind of during it, I was like, this is not really for me. Kind of the inspiration behind Dog Fox. Unfortunately, he's not. My Fox is not Dog God. I wish he was. But I gotta win this game real quick. Wait, hold up. We can't lose all of our elo. Oh, speaking of elo, okay. But yeah, okay. The only thing is installed on 26 melee. I'm going haywire right now. But yeah, so essentially, there's like this kind of like need to camp. It's not even necessarily camping, it's just like playing slower, methodical melee. I mean, I already saw tastes of it towards the end of 2025, I would say, especially with SDJ. But I feel like a lot of puffs are doing it now, and I think it makes more sense than just like, oh, I'm gonna eat myself in the whole W. Like, that stuff's fun, but doesn't really get you the wins a lot of the time. Unless you're Hungrybox that has 1 billion years of data against everybody, and somehow always wins neutral, always wins scraps, and he makes it work. Nice. Should go side play. Oh shoot! How'd Samus get there? Ooh. Whoa! Whoa! You see how high that fair was? That's crazy. You see how full dash check at 90% after CC still got hit? That's what's wrong with melee. Just kidding. That shit was happening in 2005. That is not 2026 melee. That was just me not knowing my percents there. All being said, I don't think I've played this game particularly to how I, could, and we're doing okay. Okay, I was kind of hoping Samus would go in there. See, that was really good. Oh god. That was a really bad drill. I mean, down space at all. Oh my god. That was almost insane. But horseshoes and, hand grenades. I think if I fair... That was the luckiest shield poke of my life. I think I get down smash there or dead on rip. What was I saying before? See, that's where I get locked in and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot what I was saying. I was going with 26 melee, but I also had another change right before that, which is what I want to get into. Was it about Ireland? Probably. I'll find my way back to it eventually. Or you guys can let me know what it was in the comments after this, and I can revisit the next video. One thing I was thinking about though was, so I've been trying to stream. It's not really been working with my schedule. I've just been pretty busy with work. So it was very ambitious, I think, to do a weekly stream as the goal, I think, for sure, but that's okay. I still need to edit the other video, which is also kind of why I'm not streaming. I probably could have streamed at least once and done another challenge, but I want to I want to, like, edit the other challenge before I start a new one. I just feel like that makes the most sense to me. It feels disingenuous to, like, record not record, but like stream a challenge and then still have to edit the other one. It's like, why would I not, edit the other one? I would have this problem with coaching sometimes where I would do like a coaching session and just like, I would still record the VOD and everything. Like, I would just send it to my student. But like, I could just like use the hour I was spending on the new student to like, upload the lesson for the other student. So I usually do them in batches. And I don't think I needed to do that. I think I should have just locked in and then didn't do a lesson until I uploaded the other ones. So that's kind of what my philosophy is going to be with the streams and these videos in general. I have to finish recording or uploading the previous content before I do new ones. We've successfully zoned out a Samus Puff game. And we're up a full stock. So it's probably a pretty good sign, I would say. Usually it's better to be up a stock in Super Smash Bros. Melee than, oh wow, I died to the ground at 126. Then down a stock, but I don't know. Maybe that's not true. I have a few things that have been going on recently though, apart from the Jack Rester pun, or I don't even know. I feel like the connection's very loose to everything. I just wanted to change my tag again on Slippy. But one thing I've been doing is I've been reading more. I don't know about you guys, but like, I don't know. Well, I'm 25 for context. But like when I was younger, like in school and stuff, I loved reading. Like that was my thing. Not my thing, but you know what I mean. It was something I really liked doing. But like nowadays, it's not really the case. Or okay, not nowadays, but for a while it wasn't the case. I didn't have anything to read. I didn't like spending time reading. I'm like, well, I could be playing Melee, or I could be doing, X other thing that I like doing. It could be watching a movie, watching TV, all these, like, worse things for you, realistically. I feel like my attention span is so low now, comparatively to what it was, because I'm not reading. So that's part of the reason why I took back up reading. The other thing was, I saw a trailer for the Sunrise on the Reaping, which is going to be coming out, I think, in November this year. It's going to be the next Hunger Games movie. And I didn't realize that the Hunger Games had 2 books while I was not reading at all. I really liked reading the Hunger Games. I liked watching the movies, for sure. So I was like, oh, wait, well, that's something to read. But, okay, so I wasn't completely not reading for a while. Part of it was I was reading these, like, self-help books. I was reading The Inner Game of Tennis, just give me on me in the comments, it's fine. But yeah, I was reading The Inner Game of Tennis, I read The Mental Game of Poker, Atomic Habits, so really like the most like intense books. So I was like, it's really hard to get through them. Like it took me over a year, I think, to get through Atomic Habits for starters. I think Mental Game of Poker probably took around the same time. Inner Game of Tennis I got through pretty quickly actually, compared to the other ones. But I was not as far removed from reading as I was when I did Inner Game. But essentially, my issue was I would read those books and I could only really get through like a chapter or 2 at a time because of how like dense the material is. You have to really think about like self-help books before you like move on. So that was my issue. I think I was reading so like small pages or small chapters. I would maybe read 10 pages at a time sometimes. Like, stuff like that. Or I'd read too much, and then I'd be like, well, this sucks. I need to, like, try and implement some of this stuff. So I would get overwhelmed, I guess, in terms of those books, and I would not really want to read them. But I was like, okay, let me try a novel. And that was the best idea. I read Ballad of Songbirds and Sunrise of the Reaping in about a month or less. I was reading 1 chapter a day, and I was like, okay, I'm going to get in the habit of... Part of it is you make it your identity as someone who wants to read. Is how you make a new habit. So I was like, I want to read. And I was like, okay, let me do that. So like every day I'd read a chapter. And then I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I kind of want to see what happens next in the story. I'd read 2 chapters. Then when it gets to the end of those books, I just read like 4 or 5 chapters in a row. Like for Sunrise on the Reaping, I think I read about 80 pages in one day. And it got me like nostalgic a little bit because like, God, we can't find a game, by the way. But it got me nostalgic in the sense that, like, back in the day, I would read, like, 300-page books in one day. I don't know how much information I was retaining back then, but I mean, my mind was more malleable and more open for knowledge, I guess. So realistically, I might have retained a lot of it, but it was the same thing. It would just be novels and stuff. And I don't know if leave a like or subscribe if you've ever heard of the Warrior Cat series. Very good series, by the way. You should just check it out. It's just a bunch of cats that basically have their own tribes, and they fight each other and help each other sometimes. They go through like these trials and tribulations. They have their own like religion. It's really interesting. Like it's kind of cheesy. It's like very it has like really like drama sequences like for like young adult readers like me. But it was really good. I really want to reread them someday. But there was a lot of books, so it's hard to like think about that, especially with how like new I am back to reading in general. But you should check them out if you haven't, if you like those type of books. But yeah, so I've been reading a lot more, and I got through Sunrise and I got through Ballot, and I'm like, okay, well shoot, that was my novels. So I was like, okay, well I don't have a novel I'm thinking of reading. Let me go back to self-help books. So I'm reading the How to Make Friends and Win, I think is what it's called. I just basically looked on Goodreads or something, and this was one of the books that came up. Or I literally just went straight to Amazon and just searched up self-help books or something like that. Nah, I definitely went on Reddit and asked, not asked, but like, you know. I think I've talked about it before, either here or on a stream at one point, was you would type like /Reddit. Not /Reddit, but you type like Reddit after making like a question on Google, and I still do that. So I did that here, I think in this case, and I got the answer I was looking for. It was this How to Make Friends book. Apparently the original is from like 1934. I think the edition I have is in the 2000s based on the way they talk about it. I think it's like the granddaughter or something from the original person. It's really interesting. They've had some really really good quotes. I'm just read the first chapter, and it's like it gives you help to like and retain the information in the book. Like reread the chapter. I never really do that. Highlight, like I'm highlighting pages in the book to like be like, hey, that's really cool. So I'm really excited to like continue reading it. I just reread chapter 1 today, so I'm only one chapter in, but I'm 2 days into the book, and oh, I died there. Damn. That sucks. But, it's had some really good, like, stories and quotes so far. There was one with, Abraham Lincoln where basically what happened was Abraham Lincoln, he got in a duel with someone because he was, like, getting really angry about him. About this guy, and he was like criticizing him for, I don't know, something he wrote or something. He didn't like the person, so he like wrote like an anonymous poem or something, and everyone was laughing about it. So the guy got pissed off and was like, who wrote this? He figured out that it was Abe Lincoln. This was before his presidency, obviously. And then he went to Lincoln and he was like, yo, we got a duel. Because that's just, you know, the Chad way to solve things back then. It was just, you know, kill each other. 1v1 me, bro. FD only. Fox, probably would have played Fox and FD, right? That's like the equivalent nowadays. But, so essentially, that happens. And then, they, like, the people that, like, you know, are part of the duel but that aren't them, like, they called it off for them. So the duel doesn't happen, and then Lincoln was like, oh, shoot, I could have lost my entire life right there. And, wow, I'm playing like a bot right now. Nope, I'm not playing like a bot. I could be playing better. I don't know. I'm trying to apply some of my self-helpness there. I don't think I was actually that great there. That's okay. Oh, I thought that was gonna hit it. Oh my god, this Fox is fast. Sorry, I have to lock in. Gotta give this one Saga, then we'll find out what happened to Abe Lincoln. Oops. Oh god. One more stock and then Abe Lincoln will come back. Trust, trust, trust. I deserve that. Okay, so basically what happened with Abe Lincoln was he did the duel, it didn't happen. He was like, oh man, I need to change something in my life because I shouldn't be, you know, just like getting mad at people and criticizing them and stuff. So he decided after that to stop criticizing people. He would not say anything mean about people, even if they were like, you know, the South, you know, like the worst people, you know, not the worst people ever, but like really bad people, right? He would not like if Hitler was there, he'd probably not say something bad about Hitler. He would just be like, well, he should stop what he's doing, but he wouldn't publicly like say like, hey, this is annoying. No, actually, I don't know. That'd be an interesting think piece. You know, what would Abraham Lincoln do versus Hitler? So that's a crazy statement, honestly. But so what happened was. He was like, alright, I'm not criticizing people. That was a bad idea. That wasn't fun for anyone. We're having a weird scramble here, aren't we? Oh. Wait, that doesn't hit? My bad. Okay. Oh. Sorry, I wanted to get that stock first before I kept talking. But yeah, so he was like, alright, I'm done criticizing people. So then, what happened was, the Civil War happened, obviously. I mean, we know that. Let's go back into actual, real, you know, factual situations here. So the Civil War happens, and Lincoln, you know, he was having some trouble with his generals. If you don't remember, you know, your Civil War history, basically Lee, you know, was a very good general for the Civil War for the Confederacy, but the Union really had no good generals. And Lincoln would get pissed and stuff, but he would not, you know, criticize people. He would just put in a new general, like, alright, do your best, man. So there was this one general where after the Battle of Gettysburg, which we won, you know, Pennsylvania, we're the goats. So we won the battle, but apparently, I didn't know this. What happened was after the battle, Lee's army was screwed because the water in the Potomac River was like cutting them off from leaving Pennsylvania. So the Confederacy was trapped between an army of the Union and the river. So the war could have ended potentially right there if what would happen was the Union army has to advance on Lee and, you know, risk, you know, additional casualties, you know, like fight them, you know, and, you know, try and win the war. So Lincoln was like, all right, we need to do this right now or like nothing else will ever happen. So what happened was he wrote like a message to them, got like a messenger and stuff, and he said, General, I need you to go attack Lee's army. This is our chance. And you know what the general did? He thought about it. He said, no. He told the President of the United States, no. Well, the Union, actually, not the United States, I guess. But they are the United States. I don't know how that works. Are they still the United States within the Confederacy? That was crazy that fair actually hit there. I wanted to arrest him. But, yeah, so he got told no. And Lincoln was so mad because that's the end of the war, potentially. He wrote a letter to the general and was like, hey, you screwed up, pal. This was our chance to win the freaking war, and you just threw it away. And you know what happened? He never sent the letter. Because he realized that there was no reason to. Why would you just throw that into the mix? You're gonna only hurt the general, if anything, and or the general will complain about you. Another thing was Lincoln was like, I'm not even there. Would I've, I'm not the one that was, battling in war. Like, what is my right to criticize him either? He probably did his best. So what happened was, doesn't send the letter, and they find that among Lincoln's possessions after he died. He still had the letter all the time. Which is crazy to me. Like, he used that as a reminder, basically, to say, like, hey, like, I shouldn't be criticizing people. So the Union still won the war, by the way. I mean, who knows? Maybe we could be living in an alternate timeline right now where, the Confederacy actually won the war because of that, not mistake, but, like, that situation where maybe the Confederacy, like, somehow wins the war because, they didn't stop them at Gettysburg in that timeline. Or, I'm trying to say the same things happened, but it actually was, like, the only chance of the war to be won. Oh, what? That is disappointing. That was a good backer, though, by them. Help! Come on. How does backyard dot hit? Okay, me not nair into Fox's arms. That was not consistent. TM chat. That was good though. Aw, I thought that forward smash would hit there. My bad. Wait, hold up, guys. Hold up. Hold up. Nice. I really love catching slide off there. That's really interesting. So I think that's the first thing I've actually said about this game. The entire game. This is a really good melee commentary here. That's kind of the point of these videos, though. It's supposed to be yapping, not really focusing on the game. Alright, well. Wait, I wave dashed behind him, and that was my shit in front. That's unjust in this just world. Oh, shit. Can I win this game? Low-key, we're looking sad. It's crazy how the lip actually caused that to be a loss, I think. Not a loss, but... We hit our smash DI. Woo. It's like a rising nair. That was really weird. I uppered there and nothing came out. Fuck. I'm dead. You know what? That was good. Good play. That was good play by them. Well, we'll do one more. We're not gonna end it on loss, for sure. We just gotta queue one more. That's just how we play. What was I saying? Well, I was okay. You know, this is actually a great example of the principles of the book so far. We're just gonna play this set. That's how it is. We just, there was a quote from Benjamin Franklin where it was, do not say bad things of people. I forget what the quote was. Do not say bad things, but say good of all the good people, like all the good things you have with people. But it's kind of like the if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it. But it's that vein. But it's that vein of talk. But sorry, it's that vein of talk. But for like, I won't say condensed, but it does feel that way. It's not condensed, but it's a better way of saying it, honestly. It feels more sophisticated. Is that a good way to call it? But one thing I'm noticing when I dash attack and bear dash attack in the center, I'm just like protecting myself too much with it. Whoa, that's crazy that I actually did show up near her back and it still got hit by up smash. I think that's it, Fox, yeah. But yeah, so this book's been helping so far. Well, it's 1 day in. Well, 2 days, I guess? But I like the book a lot, so I'm excited to keep reading. Oh. I shouldn't be falling up right there before, like, 40 is my... I don't think that fair was that consistent of a game plan to do. That was a good fair to call out, Junk. Yeah, so it's been a long way to say you guys should read more, but no, seriously, you should read more. You should also not pound in the center more. It's a good thought process too. I can't believe I exhausted all my options I was going to talk about. Or maybe it's just I don't know. I don't know what I was about to say. Oh wow, that fair didn't hit. One thing that I was gonna write things down that I wanted to think it would talk about, so I didn't forget. One thing I was gonna talk about was the what's the tournament called? Super Fusion is this weekend. So you guys should watch that. We've been kind of starved for melee content, I would say. Not starved, but oops. Oh wait, there. Swag. I think I didn't get up shield in time there. But yeah, you should watch Super Fusion this weekend. I think it's in New Jersey. I want to go, but like, I can't really like. So my issue is I can't really practice everything I want to learn. Like I said, I'm getting Dark Arc lessons once a month there right now because I just don't have time to like implement everything I'm learning quick enough. Not quick enough, but not quick enough is the word. But like I don't feel great about my melee groove if I'm not, you know. I was trying to get a CC grab there. Did not get one. Good DIY on them there. I don't know what's going on with that up smash. Specifically, it seems like it's like working in ways I just don't get. Usually foxes don't dash dance up smash though. What was I gonna say though? Usually they try and CC it, if anything. Yeah, Super Fusion. I think it's like Crudo, SDJ. Crudo, SDJ, maybe Salt. Moff's, I think, going. Like, it's got good hitters for sure. We've been definitely started on content. But, it looks like we're gonna be waiting out the entire time. That's cool. It gets me time to gap. So, I have an idea for the next stream, for sure. But again, I still want to get through the rest of the content for the stream I already had. And, oh wait. I'm Grandmaster again. When did that happen? Was I Grandmaster the whole stream and I didn't notice? Because it resets, I think, after the day. We won, like, 2 matches, guys. Huge. Huge for us. But, what was I going to say? It's Happy St. Patrick's Day. That's not what I was about to say. What I wanted to say, I am really happy to watch the tournament this weekend. I have, one of my friends is doing, like, a nice little, like... Is it too, like, boomer to call things get-togethers? But it's like, they rented out, like, a room at a bar. So, like, a local bar, and then... They're getting, like... We're, like, all hanging out, like, food and drinks and stuff. What? I got grailed. But yeah, so I'm doing that this weekend, which, you know, does take priority over the melee, but melee will be watched. Oh. We grabbed the ledge there, and still somehow I think I was scared that the stock wasn't ours. Am I dead? Oh wow, I actually drifted into Fox's loving arms. We love when we do that here. See, this is why we don't do fair. Fair, you can't space well. It looks like we will be ending on a loss, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with ending on a loss. I'm not gonna lie, that did ruin a lot of the vibes of the video. But I needed to do that for myself. In the sense that, what was I about to say? To try and, you know, be Abraham Lincoln there. But, yeah, okay, so the Lincoln strategy, I don't know. I think next time, we'll see. We'll see if the Lincoln strategy will pay off. We'll know. We'll never know. I feel like the yapping wasn't as good at the end there. That's why, you know, I didn't really like the Abraham Lincoln strategy there. But, I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. And I will see you guys at least next Wednesday. If not sooner, depends on what I'm feeling in terms of, what was I about to say? It depends on what I'm feeling in terms of Not feeling, but it depends if I can edit the video by Monday. Because that's when I would upload the stream from Sunday the 28th? 27? How many days are in February? If there's no leap year. Alright. You guys will let me know. Have a good one.